Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Scary Stories by the Campfire. We are your hosts this evening, Jason.
Okay, why are you doing it this way?
What am I doing? What
You
way?
you got like, why are you doing what way?
What are you
Where
talking?
do you get off?
What are you talking about? I ain't doing no what way.
You got like this whole theatric going. Anyway, I'm Jeremy.
Hold on. I should have spun around in my.
There's like a lag. I think you just started lagging out, Jason. Oh no, I think we lost him. Jason! Oh no! Jason, if you can hear me, leave the chat and come back in. You might have to leave the Discord. Wait, no, you're moving again.
Yeah, we had like an internet issue there for a second. As anyone who is
I think your internet is going out it back and forth.
okay, hold on. We're in a new location.
No, you are.
Uh,
I'm not.
well, I know I'm in a new location, and this is our this is the first time I've been doing this. So just bear with me, everybody. Just bear with me. Yes. So Saw 3. Is that the official title of this one? Saw 3.
Yeah, Saw 3.
So it's not Saw 3D. That comes later.
Saw 3.
We are talking about Saw 3, and we would just like to apologize for not doing a show last week. We had a lot of stuff going on, which is a bit ironic because
We
it's
did.
this movie. And now Jeremy's found the button. Um, it was kind of weird because we had the personal matter happen on Monday, and we did the movie that same day. And yeah, this is weird because this movie actually like felt relevant to me. It was weird. And, like, because usually we sit here and we watch these movies and we can poke fun. Haha, that's silly, that's silly, that's silly. But this one was, I'm like sitting there going, wow, I can actually feel this one. And I'm not saying like, I don't know if it's like,
Was it Tobin Bell? Did you connect with the Jigsaw killer? Did you finally realize that he's not a killer?
no, I actually connected with Jeff. Why is Jason covered? What do you mean? Why am I covered?
Covered in your jacket, covered in your headband.
You're gonna have to be more specific. Why am I covered? Why am I just wearing a coat? It
What?
something keeps no. It sounds like something keeps popping up on my screen. Is
That's,
what they're saying.
I don't know what it could be because through OBS you're perfectly fine. Nothing is popping up over you.
Okay. All right. So Saw 3. Now that we're 4 minutes into this thing and we haven't even really talked about the movie, there were words over me. Huh.
Oh,
Weird. What are you doing?
well, I'm moving my mouse in front of the cameras.
Oh, I did see that thing keep popping up. Never mind. I know what you're talking about now, Jeremy. Stop it, Jeremy, you weirdo. So Saw 3. What did
Okay,
you
okay.
what did you think, Jeremy?
Um, I mean, it's a Saw movie. I mean, I
I
think the only difference is now it's slow ass motherfucking Jeff. Snail pa-
which is
snail pacing
which
his
is
way along.
which is weird. Okay. When we were, because I've seen it on the kill count. when he gets into the rooms. Okay, so Jeff is the new player.
That's what she's saying. I know what she's saying now.
So, yep, there it is right there. I saw it. So in this movie, we are following Jeff. We've completely dropped. I'm hearing echoes now. We have dropped the. Why is there so much going on, Jeremy?
I don't know.
Stop messing with things, bro.
Everything
people
keeps bouncing around. I can't help it.
people on the people who could be listening to this isn't going to be like they're just going to be like, why they keep stopping about other things, and people on the screen are watching going, what is going on? So
Okay.
we dropped the Eric Matthews story arc for now, and I say for now because it will pick up later ish, kinda. But now we're following Jeff along. Dun, 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 dun. And
Yeah, Jeff, played by Angus McFadden.
what else has he played in? He looks kind of familiar.
He was Robert the Bruce in Braveheart.
Oh, he was actually the Robert the Bruce
Yes, and Braveheart.
in Braveheart. So he has to go through this trial, this series of trials, and it revolves around the fact that his child was killed by an we call it a hit and run, but he
You're
killed the kid.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh, I know this. I don't know. Okay, so so he's having to deal with it, and apparently Jigsaw has formulated this obstacle course of fun that deals with the woman who was like what the sole eyewitness who just drove off.
Yep.
She was. It seemed like she was actually worse than the guy who actually hit the kid. It seemed like the guy who hit the kid was actually still around while she saw the kid get hit and was just like, yeah, no,
Yep.
peace out. You had the judge who gave, I guess, a light sentencing.
Yeah, it's like 6 months.
Yeah, something like that. And then you had the
ridiculously low.
yeah, and then you had the which I mean, would you consider that ridiculously low?
6 months for manslaughter? Yes.
You know what? It was accidental.
Man, that's
I would assume,
manslaughter.
right?
Manslaughter is accidental killing.
You know. So.
And in his case, it'd be vehicular manslaughter.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're a good enough person, 6 months is. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a anything. But you had the judge who gave the light sentencing, and then you had the actual guy who killed, was involved in the accident. And that is the main plot. But then you have the subplot where you have Amanda, who is crazy at this point. I mean, she was crazy in the beginning, but she's like even crazier in this one. And she's got the doctor there who's doing who's trying to keep Jigsaw alive. So there's like a mini game. It's a mini game. Keep me alive and you get to stay alive. If I die, you die. Mini game. And spoiler alert, everyone dies except Jeff.
Except Jeff.
Except Jeff. Which I think he makes an appearance in the next movie.
He is.
It just seemed kind of odd. And the way this movie started, as you can tell in our lovely, lovely background, yeah, was it Carrie? Was her name Carrie?
Yep.
Carrie or Karen?
Carrie.
Carrie ended up dead in this one too. You're gonna notice in this movie, I mean, even in the other movies, Jigsaw has apprentices or people who help him and whatnot. And I guess Amanda was like his number one sidekick. Only problem is Amanda was crazy. I mean, Jigsaw's crazy too, but
he's
she's
not a killer.
crazy. Oh, shut up! She's a killer, and you know it.
No,
Or
she
he
is. He's not.
Yeah, well, both of them are. What did Matthew say in the second movie? Just because you make a you get a person to put a gun to their head and you force them to pull the trigger, still makes you a murderer.
Technicalities.
And the only difference is Jigsaw, when he puts you in a trap, there is a way out. He gives you a way out. When you start seeing these traps that um, Amanda um, creates, they are specifically created to kill you.
Yep,
Even
take
if
the.
you beat,
I was gonna
what
say,
was that?
take the opening guy with all the hooks in him, all the metal rings.
Yeah, yeah,
His
yeah.
room was sealed shut, so he couldn't get out, even if he did get out of the chains.
I mean, technically he lost because he didn't get unchained, but still. But in the case of Carrie, she managed to actually unlock herself. So technically, that would have been her winning the game. But the way the trap was designed, she couldn't get out if she wanted to
Yep.
because like the rods were all
It like
they were
fused to
like,
her ribs.
they were like around her ribs, so she couldn't just Um, so we get with Jeff, and Jeff is running the gauntlet after he gets out of that
Rocky, Rocky, Rocky crate.
that crate. He's up on the forklift,
Yep.
really high up, and then he just
Meanwhile,
crashes.
Amanda has placed the good doctor in a very fun collar with shotgun rounds all circled around her head. And if Jigsaw's
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat stops beating, it goes off. And boom!
And boom. Now, this movie, if anyone doesn't know, the theme of this movie is forgiveness.
So, Jason,
I forgive you.
do you forgive Jigsaw? Because he's not a murderer.
No, no. I completely agree with Jeff in this one. I think Jigsaw is just kind of like the guy who's like, just sit there and look at me. That's it. That's how you do. You just win the game. Is just forgive me. I don't want to forgive you, and then I'm gonna cut your throat. And spoiler alert, like I said, everyone in this movie dies, including Jigsaw and Amanda,
Amanda gets shot in the neck.
which is really weird because they were building her up to kind of be this big character, and I guess it's kind of like Tap in the first movie. You're expecting a little bit more, and then pow. Yeah, okay, you're done. Get out of here.
I was gonna say,
You
so
getting
like, it's funny because Jeff has to go through all these trials, and the first one is the woman in the
in
freezer,
in the freezer box.
and she's at like negative 32, naked, and these sprinklers spray her.
Yeah, it's like a very, I wouldn't say a mist, but it's just above a mist where it's like actual water kind of spraying out, but it's not like a pardon me, jet stream of water.
No, yeah.
It's just
So
enough. It's just enough to freeze on her skin.
so Jeff has to like reach through these poles and get the key, and he's got to reach in there, and it's like ah. But he takes so long. Like he sits there for like a good 5 minutes. Just you didn't help. You just
Thi-
left.
This is
Meanwhile, this poor
why
girl is just in there, like freezing.
crying and freezing. This is why we like to pick on the fact that Jeff is so slow. Because after what had been going on with me personally, I can kind of see what he's going through. In a way, you just want to like watch him suffer a little bit. But that's not the plan, man. The plan, man, in the end, he tries to save him, but it's always after he argues with him for like 5 minutes. What is that? Is that your arm twisting off? Are your legs and bones snapping? Okay, maybe I'll help you now. By that point, it's already too late, you know?
Yep. So,
Um,
and every one of the traps are like easy for Jeff not to hurt himself. So like this one, like the poles are super ice cold, so like his cheek gets stuck to it, and he like pulls the skin off. When all he would have to have done is like take his sleeve on his shirt and just kind of pull it up and just, oh look, I got it. I'm okay. Let's undo you. But she turns into a literal popsicle.
mhm.
And he's like rubbing her face, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was like after her face was like kind of frozen over and he touched it and it started to crack. He was like, "Oh, well, I ought to help now." Bro, by that point it's too late, man. Just let her die with some dignity or something. By the time he gets back, she is literally just a block of ice. It is
Not
almost
that easy when you're in that situation.
well, yeah, we know it's not that easy when you're in that situation. You
But you
would
don't
you
have
would
to spend 10 minutes arguing with the person.
you would want in that sort of situation, you would hope that your best instinct is to help right away. Hey, I know you were involved with this terrible thing in my life. Let me help you out first, and then we can, you know. That's what any kind of, I guess, logical person would, you know, you would think. But, you know, sometimes the trauma kicks in more, and you just, you know, and really, he could have let technically, he did kind of let everyone die, but, you know, there was no penalty for him.
Yep.
There was no penalty. It wasn't like, Jeff, you have to forgive this woman and get her down because if she dies, you lose a hand or something,
Nope. It just was a
or
matter of.
you know,
So then we move on to the second one, which is the judge. And
judge.
I don't know where Jigsaw got him from, but man, he got like an endless supply of rotten pigs.
I'm pretty sure that whole place is a slaughterhouse.
So he puts the judge in the bottom of this big old tank and like straps him to the bottom by his neck. Meanwhile, this conveyor belt is just dropping rotting maggot filled pig carcasses into a grinder. And it's just like spewing out onto him. And it will eventually rise up and drown him in pig guts and mulch and everything else. And the only way to get him is to burn all of his child's possessions.
Oh yeah, that one.
Which he says all his possessions. I don't think that's all of his child's possessions. I think that's just his
No,
most prized possessions.
that was the stuff that Jeff valued the most. I mean, even to a certain extent, he valued it over what he thought of it. You know, like his daughter.
Oh
Like his
yeah.
daughter, he had a whole nother child, and
She just wanted to
he had
sleep with the stuffed animal.
yeah. She took the stuffed animal from the boy's bedroom, and Jeff came in there and like took it from her. And was like, "Don't take anything from the room. Just don't do it." You know, he was so he was so I guess I wouldn't say obsessed, but he was just so wrapped around I guess his son, and he just completely I guess kind of neglectfully didn't pay attention to his daughter, and so he had to take pardon me, he had to take the um, prized possessions. They were all in like a little furnace cremator thing or whatever, and he had to burn all those to get the key to save the other guy. Otherwise, the other guy would just drown in,
Pig guts.
yeah, pig carcass. And yeah,
That
he
would to
managed.
me would be the hardest one, and I get that. I can empathize with that one being a little bit harder to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm materialistically it makes sense because it is like a piece of them that they left behind. Um,
Ooh, excuse me.
but you know, it just really comes down to like, do you sacrifice those things to save another person, especially a
Yes.
person that kind of did you wrong, I
Okay,
guess.
but and here was the other part though. Like he was so mad at the judge for his sentence. Like why? There's
Because
no
it wasn't the death penalty.
like that's the minimum you can get for that charge. And so that's what he got.
And I mean, the way they described the next guy who was in that heinous thing called the what is it called, the rack.
Oh yeah, the rack.
That thing literally twists your limbs one by one around. But I mean, the way they describe him was like he was a clean guy, no record of any problems. He was a medical student, you know, and it was an accident. It wasn't like he was trying to deliberately go out there and. Wow. Did you? Uh-oh. I'm covered again, Jeremy. Fix me. There we go.
That's for me clicking on the horn.
Womp, 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 womp.
And I
Um,
do that because in this one, not only does the guy die, but the judge he just saved gets
yeah,
shot in the
the
face.
this one was like he had to get a key for the machine from a string that was tied in front of a shotgun, and if you pulled the string, it would pull the trigger, and the thing was, would you take a bullet for the guy who killed your kid? And he did have kind of a smart idea where he was like trying to untie it, kind of taking too much time, and the gun still went off and hit the judge and killed him, like shot him in the face. So, and he got a 2-for-1 in that one.
Yeah, I got a twofer. Because that poor man's head just spun straight back. He reminded me of The Exorcist.
Except the fact that it didn't go all the way around.
But he still looked like The Exorcist. So then Jeff wanders into Jigsaw's lair.
Jigsaw's lair. Which actually, coming off the second movie, it was in the first movie you had the main event and then you had flashbacks. In the second movie, you had the main event running alongside the other main event, not realizing that the second main event was actually
A
already done and
flashback.
over with. It was just a big giant kind of flashback. This one, you're sitting there going, "Oh, is this going to be another one of those flashbacks where he comes in through a door, but they're not really there, or whatever?" Nope, it was all happening in real time, and the doctor, who was kidnapped and was wearing the shotgun collar, was actually married to Jeff, and the
And
man that
she
she
was,
was with at the beginning of the movie, she was cheating. She was a cheating doctor.
so
Yeah,
Amanda
well,
gets jealous, shoots the
yeah, for some
doctor,
reason. Yeah.
in which case causes Slow Jeff to react the fastest he's ever reacted in his life.
And popped her in the neck. Pow.
Boom, hit Amanda in the neck. And it turns out that this was all a test for Amanda.
Everything is a test. It's all a test. It's
What?
always a test.
Amanda was being tested because Jigsaw found out that she was a murderer and wanted to test her one final time to see if she could make sure to factor in the will to live.
I'm just saying, Jeremy, that watching these movies is really testing me. You get a test, and you get a test, and you get a test. Jigsaw, I work for you. You get a test too.
Well, she failed the test because she shot the good doctor.
Yeah, well,
because she's a murderer.
That's okay. I get to live through her in Dead by Daylight.
So then
Run around in my piggy mask.
Tobin Bell tells Jeff, I am your final challenge to forgive me for putting you through this. For your little gauntlet of crap, forgive me. You can kill me, or you can take your wife and get to a hospital where the distance for the shotgun collar will dissipate, because you'll have enough time to get to a hospital and get her taken care of, but the distance with the shotgun collar won't matter. So it won't go off. And I'll give you the key to take it off.
And Jeff goes, I forgive you. And then proceeds to cut his neck with that buzzsaw thingamajig.
That's a table saw.
Was it a table saw?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was like kind of the same thing that she cut his head with. Because they had that nice...
No, it had he had the big old table saw.
Yeah, that's right. And then Jigsaw died. And when he died, the shotgun collar went off and killed Jeff's wife.
But you see, Jigsaw had a final tape where he said, Jeff, if you chose to forgive me, I could tell you where your daughter is.
Which we'll probably find out in the next movie.
So it turns out Jigsaw actually kidnapped Jeff's daughter. And to forgive him was the final test so he could tell where the daughter was.
Jigsaw, the final quiz master. This is ridiculous. Jigsaw is just a piece of work. That's what he is.
Sorry, my headphones fell out. What is Jigsaw?
Jigsaw is a piece of work, I said.
But he's not a murderer.
He's a murderer, Jeremy, and we know it.
He didn't kill any of those people.
Oh my! He killed the doctor. He has a name. I don't remember what it is, but Lynn don't care.
She could have lived. All Jeff had to do was forgive me.
Oh yeah, putting someone else's life in the hands of someone that first of all, you run a guy through a gauntlet of horror where you rip off half his cheek.
It wasn't half, it was like a sliver.
Whatever. You make him burn his child's prized possessions, his deceased child's prized possessions. Then you expect him to take a shotgun shot for the man who killed your child, and you just want him to walk up and you go, I forgive you.
Yes, because the whole message of this movie, the great message of this movie,
would have squashed his head with a hammer.
Is forgiveness.
I would have just found like the biggest mallet. It would have been like a mallet and a watermelon.
You gotta forgive, Jason.
This
is like a kid's show for adults where the message is forgiveness.
Kid's show for adults. What's the word of the day, kids? Forgiveness.
Billy the Puppet's here to present the word of the movie.
Hello, kids. Would you like to play a game? The secret word of the day is forgiveness. Always say you're sorry.
No matter what people do to you, always forgive them. Even if it's for horrible, horrible acts.
But I don't want to forgive Timmy. He kicked sand in my face. Then get the reverse bear trap.
And now, to get out of it, you must crawl through this pit of sand as it falls into your eyes repeatedly.
It hurts. Oh my goodness.
All right, so out of the first three, Jason, which has been your favorite so far?
Um, it's really hard to say. I'm probably gonna go with. Probably go with Saw 2. We'll,
Pick
I'm gonna go with Saw
three.
2.
Pick number three, my lord.
Wow, are we getting a Shrek reference up in here?
Oh, we are.
Oh no.
So, what was your favorite trap in this movie?
Um, well, picking a trap is really hard because you just got to think. Well, you got to base it off the merits of how much pain it costs. I like this one because it's see, it's kind of a toss up between Carrie's and the rack. Because the rack is just painful, man. I mean, I guess with Carrie's it was like kind of instantaneous. You got to feel like your ribs and stuff kind of ripping apart, but you kind of I would hope you would die pretty quickly from that. Like the rack, you're not gonna die because your leg broke.
But eventually, I mean, it's different for every person, but I would fathom to guess that by the third one, you're going to go into shock.
Quite possibly, or just keep screaming like he did.
Um,
But yeah, but you see, like I would.
I think Carrie's would be my favorite, just because of what it is, and she went ham. She went like a boss.
Yeah, she actually did. I think the problem with like some of these traps, like
My least favorite
uh,
being the opening one. Because even if you did manage to, even if Amanda had set it up to where he could win, like he yanked them things out of his Achilles heel. He had it in his lip.
hmm hmm
Like, yeah, no.
um, trying to think here real quick. We were just talking about the traps, and okay, I'm back on my. I got it now. The way all these traps work, it's pitting you against yourself. Whether it was Amanda in the bear trap, or whether it was the guy with the metal helmet thing that would have closed on him.
The
Uh,
Venus,
the,
a
yeah,
Venus flytrap.
yeah, that, or even uh, the doctor in the first movie, Lawrence Gordon. He's a
My name
doctor,
is. I was just about to say, name's Lawrence Gordon. I'm a doctor.
and all those. I mean, even still, like Eric Matthews to a certain extent, it's all a test of your weaknesses.
And
This
your
one,
will to survive.
this one had nothing to do with that. They were testing Jeff, but they were using other people to test him, and there was no for failure.
Yeah.
All three people died, and what did he get out of it? Nothing.
A dead wife.
Well, I mean that was kind of his fault,
And a missing
but
daughter.
but but still, it was like usually if you fail a test, you die. He failed pretty much all. Well, failed 2 out of 3, and
No, he
failed
failed like
this one.
one, two, three, 3 out of 4. He
Well, no, I'm.
he
Well, I mean,
failed the
yes,
final
and
test too.
well, that's what I said. I said he failed. He failed 2 out of 3, and then he pretty much bombed that last one.
Yeah, so he actually failed 3 out of 4.
Whatever.
And for bonus points, you gotta forgive Jigsaw.
Yeah, that was the final test, and he
Oh,
failed.
I don't need no bonus.
So,
But we also find
Yeah.
out that Amanda actually killed Adam.
Yeah, you do get some flashbacks to the first movie where you actually get to see some of the background stuff. And it just, guess what, folks? Sit down, buckle up, because that's going to happen throughout the entire series. Like, take for example, Amanda had what, gone to her like little sleepy area, and she pulled out a letter and read said letter, or she read a letter somewhere, and that letter is not going to be referenced until the next movie or the movie after. So, ta-da! Welcome to the world of Saw. This is what happens.
This is an adult soap opera.
Yeah. So that is pretty much what's going to happen from now on. You're going to see snippets. We are not, as far as I'm aware, we are not done with Amanda. I mean, she is dead. Yes, don't get me wrong, but a lot of her stuff's going to be done up in flashbacks and stuff like that.
That's kind of like
So,
Tobin Bell.
yeah.
Like he pops up in.
Except for this, except for like new movie coming out, Saw X. I think it's supposed to take place between Saws 2 and 3. So we're gonna get like Tobin Bell when he's like sitting in the van. We're gonna finally see what happens. He's sitting in the van all beat up, and then we're gonna get a movie out of that.
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, so Amanda's actually in Saw. She doesn't make another appearance until Saw 6.
Yeah, they use her as flashback material because they go through Jigsaw's uh, backstory.
And she
So
is in Saw X.
yeah, I do remember seeing something about that, which she would have to be. Can't have a Saw movie that takes place between um 2 and 3 and not have Amanda. I mean, she appeared in Saws 1, 2, 3. You know, so
Wow.
wow. What?
So, first off, did you know she was in The Blob?
No, I did not know. Well, I mean, no, I did not know that until I actually looked it up. But
She plays Meg Penny.
yeah, I think she's like, and that's the Blob remake, not the original.
Yeah, the 1988 remake.
Yeah, I think that was like the wife to the main character.
And then she's also in. She does a voice in Vice City on
Uh,
Fever 105.
oh, what? Who?
She
Just
does
like
the
a.
female voice.
Oh, is that it? Just female voice?
Uh huh.
Uh,
But that's still
she's one-
cool. So now,
she's just she's just one of those people.
but hey,
Can't even play a character with a name.
but she gets hey.
What? What? So I heard you in GTA. Yeah, I was in GTA Vice City. That must have been really cool. Who'd you play? Female voice. Number 3.
But she's in Saw too.
Yep. I don't think she does any of the voice work for. Well, I mean, there really is no voice work for Dead by Daylight, so probably not.
No,
Most likely not. Sad though.
but it's good to see her in something.
Yeah, she could be coming back for Saw X.
Yeah, she is.
It's the cross between 2 and 3. That's where the little X comes from. Whoopsh, whoopsh.
Is that what that means?
I don't know. No, it's because it's the 10th movie, Jeremy.
Well,
You know, Jason X, Saw X.
at least he's not in space.
Yet.
But
Would you like to fly a spaceship?
before we get into the ratings, how about that open brain surgery?
Oh, that was a struggle to get through. Kind of gross. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen gross stuff like that before. I think to the fact that it was done up like a medical thing makes it weird to me.
Took that power
Uh,
drill and just and you hear it like hit the skull, and it's just like, boom.
Uh, Jeremy, you ever see Super?
No.
No. There was a scene in that movie where I guess it's a representation of like an epiphany. He's sitting. The main character's Rainn Wilson. He's sitting there on his bed or whatever, and he just has this idea he's gonna become, I guess, a superhero or something. And this whole scene plays out where the roof of his house gets like pulled away, and these like alien tentacles come in through the roof. Now, remember, this is a James Gunn film, so it's really weird. And these things come in, and he's just staring at them. He's just like, and they come in, and I think one of them has like a scalpel and literally cuts around his head, and the other one comes in with like a suction cup and pops the top and removes the top of his head, and he's just like, and then they go in there and like cut away hit the top of his skull. I think they may actually do that along with everything else, but the whole story is that like the whole top of his brain is exposed, and then this other tentacle comes in with like a napkin or a bowl or something and kind of polishes the top, and then what is supposed to be like God's finger comes in and just kind of touches his brain, and he's just like, I'm gonna be like a superhero. And of course none of that really happened, but that was all in his head. And I watched that scene, I was like, oh, that's kind of gross, but it's kind of funny at the same time. This movie kind of, it's kind of the same thing, but it's just like, oh, that's really gross, because it's more of like a realistic medical drama. And it's just like, oh, gross. I can't do something funny. Poke him in the brain. Boop boop boop. Get a little slap. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, it's time we get into the ratings. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Good. So,
I don't,
IMDb
don't know if Raven's ready.
at a 600,000 votes. Sorry, I was reading it wrong. What do y'all think fans gave Saw 3? On a scale of 1 to
What?
10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what did fans give Saw 3?
Yep.
Oh, let me get my chat. Let me get to my chat here. A 4? Okay, I'm gonna undercut you a little bit. No, I'm gonna go up a little bit higher. I'm gonna go 5.5. What the? Oh, I can't do it. I'm not actually logged into Twitch right now.
What did you put, Jason? A 5?
I'm gonna go with a 5.5. 5.5. It is a 5.5. And PJ gives it a 6. So we got a 4, a 5.5, and a 6.
Alrighty. So,
Oh god, here we go.
are y'all ready?
Yeah. Did I lose the will to live?
Ravenfire, you have lost the will to live. Jason, you have lost the will to live.
Oh no.
PJ, with the rating being a 6.2, you have the drive to win. You do not. You value your life.
Yeah. Oh my god. Jeremy's going crazy with the sound effects. I wonder if that'll carry over. Will that carry over into the
Probably.
into the recording? I have to go back and take a look, because it would be really weird. We're just sitting there like, we're laughing at nothing.
Now, it is
Oh,
time
crazy.
for the trap meter.
The trap meter. We just forget calling it the tomato meter. It is the trap meter.
For the trap meter on a scale of 0 to 100, what did the critics give this movie? Did they have the will to live? Jason, I think you're frozen. I think you're still frozen.
Right.
Your video feed is still frozen. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's coming back now.
PJ gives the critics a 58, while Ravenfire gives them a 70. You really think the critics really love this movie?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 45.
Jason, with the 45.
With a 45.
Jason, you have lost the will to live. Wrong one.
David, Jeremy. Oh. Why are you gonna?
PJ,
Dude, you're like,
you've lost the will to live.
Yeah. I mean. Aw. Oh my God, it's gone high.
Ravenfire, you have also lost the will to live.
Oh my God, we are all done. I'm gonna assume it was like lower than a 45.
It was
Was it
38.
28. Yeah.
Oh, it was a 30.
Yeah.
It was a 30 on the dot.
Is it 30 on the dot, huh?
Yep. Critics said one of the most sadistic, brutal, grisly films of the current splatter porn genre.
Are you kidding me? Did they not see one of the later ones?
It requires a
Ooh, this is
stretch of the
mean.
imagination too far, but there's still plenty of gore and tricksy murders here.
Murder. You hear that, Jeremy? Murder.
I don't have a problem with uncomfortable violence if it comes in a film that's at least remotely entertaining, which this movie is not. This installment is lazy, coasting on everything that made the first Tomb film so popular.
Kind of a stretch, but okay.
And now, the audience. What did
And
the
now
people?
audience score.
What did the people think of Saw 3?
I'm gonna go with a 40. Give me the 40. Give me the 40. Oh, you're trying to undercut me? 38.
Ravenfire, I've given you 3 chances with the will to live. You've given all 3 up. The drive, the will, is not there. Jason, I've given you 3 chances. Your will to live is just not there. PJ, 2 out of 3, you have proven worthy of life. Those who know
Yeah, go
appreciate
figure.
life deserve life. Great job. You no longer hate life. You are appreciative of life.
Must be having some sort of connection issue or something, Jeremy. You were freezing up there for a second. And you know what? You know what, Jeremy?
I believe it's your internet.
Don't forgive you.
What? You should forgive Jigsaw.
Don't forgive. I don't forget.
You know
I
what?
don't for no. I don't forgive
Everybody,
you. I don't forgive Jigsaw, and you
everybody here, real quick. Let's all
keep
join
covering
hands.
my face.
Let's all join hands, real quick. Everybody, Jason, come on, grab my hands. I mean, you're frozen right now, so I'll wait. Jason's screen is still frozen. I think he's having some severe internet issues. Well, hopefully he comes back before the show ends, but you get to listen to me jabber on for just a little bit. Bye. So wake up, Jason. Well, obviously Raven, he's froze. I'm sitting here staring at his face of like, he kind of looks like one of the people that got scared to death in Scary Movie 3, where she's just like, oh my god, it's great. So, we'll see what happens. Oh, there he went. He disconnected completely. Man. So, what I was saying was Ravenfire PJ, and when Jason decides to come back, we all should forgive Jigsaw. He's not a killer. Listen to my message. Join the cult. Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. It's a true story. I mean, after all, his biological time clock was ticking. I think Jason may be joining us again.
Yeah, I can. I still don't forgive you, Jeremy.
Let's join hands real quick. Right here. You see this?
Oh, we're joining hands again. I had my hands joined, and then the internet went out.
Okay. We're going to
So I gave
forgive
up.
Jigsaw
I gave
now.
up. Oh God! You know what? No. Here, I'll continue to hold your hand, but I'm not forgiving Jigsaw. He made Billy the puppet. Thing was gross, and the way that little puppet laid on the ground like his child, that was just awful.
Don't worry, Jason.
And I don't know.
Jigsaw treats all of his people the exact same way. They're identical.
Wow. It's just that's where we're gonna leave it. We're done. I'm done. And I definitely don't forgive you for that.
You should.
Yeah, see? Hands are joined, but no forgiveness. We don't
Forgiveness
forgive.
is divine.
But never pay full price for late pizza. Yeah, how you like them apples? I can quote a random movie too.
I know that. Anyways, we will see y'all next week as we talk about Saw 4.
Saw 4.
As we continue and we get the return of Mr. Donnie Wahlberg.
How many Saws have you seen? I saw 4. I saw 3.
I saw 2.
I saw X. And don't get used to Donnie in the no. Yay! Don't give me that. You know what he does in the next movie? Nothing. He does nothing in the next movie.
Why did you spoil it?
You spoiled it that he was even in the movie, Jeremy. I'm just saying he does nothing. Okay.
He does
Hey, guess
something.
what? Hey, guess what, kid? Hey, guess what, kids? Kids, guess what? This is Saw 3, and guess what? It's the return of Donnie. Woo! He does nothing.
You lose. Good day, sir.
It's like all these characters, all these movies, they shine, and then all their other appearances, whether it's before that movie or after, they do nothing. Carrie does nothing, and then dies.
Tap does nothing, dies.
Does nothing and dies. Amanda kind of does something in the second movie, and then dies in this one. Jigsaw dies. Even Jigsaw can't escape his own movie. I just want you to forgive me and oh god, thank God I'm dying. No,
So-
sir, we still have you for like 8 more movies. I forgive you, studios.
That was like the whole premise of the next one is like Jigsaw's dead, so how is he back kind of deals.
Well, they do that for like all the rest of them. Oh, no. 3, kinda. But
Well,
yes, we are
We will see y'all next
done this
week.
evening.
Yep. We will see y'all next weekend. Or next week. Next Wednesday. Same time.
Monday, hopefully.
Same time. Same campfire. Well, for us, it's a shit room right now for Saw.
Oh, mine's looking really good right now.
Yeah, okay.
I like mine. Maybe I'll wear a different getup next time.
Billy the Puppet.
Do
Do little spirals on your cheeks.
Last time. I'm not putting spirals on my cheeks. I'm sorry. Not doing it.
Well.
Oh.
Hey.
Great. I guess I have to put spirals on my cheeks next week.
Well, we will see
Fine,
y'all
we'll
next
see.
week. Everyone have a great night. Avoid the traps.
Good night. Later.
You think it's over just because I'm dead? It's not over. Hello, Officer Rick. You have witnessed your colleagues disappear. Tonight, I give you the opportunity to save everyone. Welcome to your rebirth.
2 officers are missing. I am just curious as to why. Take off the mask, put your hands in the air.
The games have just begun.
He's being recruited.
I am still among you.
You gotta save yourself.